We have a lineup change here, Grant. Batiste has decided to give up his seat for Dobie, who's a new player in the game.
Yep. He final tabled the 777 World Series of Poker tournament back in 2015, I think.
Sounds like it might be true when you say it.
Yeah. So he's legit. He's got a resume.
There he is.
Resume. There he is with the spy hat on. I think that's a bit of a suspicious hat.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, Austin has the Ace King of Hearts, and Terminator has a premium for Terminator.
I mean, at least he has position.
Yeah.
Joseph gonna call here with the King 7
Seriously,
clubs.
that phone is so bright. Look at that thing.
There's a Queen of Hearts. Ooh, that's a good flop for Austin.
Analyze more, please.
Also, Terminator's
Explain.
got a gutter. Anything could happen. Wow. So nice to flop the nuts.
If Terminator had a heart, he would definitely call. I don't know if he's going to call here.
No, he's right to get rid of it. There's going to be no action here. But
Such
I like
a
that
sad
Austin
time.
bet. Austin's really supposed to bet this.
Such a sad time when you flop the nuts and nobody calls.
Yeah. Agreed.
He's getting called a lot there. Like any pair is going to call him once at least.
Sure. Any pair, any heart. That's pretty good. It's going to happen a lot. We do block the best hands, but that's okay because we have the best hands.
We want to have the best hand, so it's
Yeah.
good to block the
We
best
would
hands.
like. I mean, we'd rather have Ace Queen of Hearts, so some could have the King of Hearts. But let's not be crazy. Also, the Queen's on the board. Let's not be crazy. We're happy to have the nuts.
I want to complain about it.
Well, you should.
Phil Hellmuth would find a way.
That's likely. Austin gonna play the Ace-8 off. It looks like. Is that
He's
for a
gonna-
limp?
Yep.
Whoa.
It's, unorthodox.
Wacky. He has a lot of weird plans. This guy. So
Maybe
we'll see
he's
what he's
been
doing here.
watching a lot of Poker Time.
Is he possibly gonna do a limp re-raise? I don't know.
I don't know.
Does have a blocker. Mitzeff reasonably calls the
Yeah.
Jack-8 suited.
That's a good call, Mitzif. Good job.
Professor.
The Professor, you should just raise. Nobody ever believes you. You
Professor-
get it through every time.
I mean, everyone believes him, is what you mean, actually.
yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah. Always works.
And look, he flopped the best hand. And he knows it. He's leading.
This is amazing.
Got to protect.
It's going to work out. I don't know how anyone can call here. Unless Joseph decides to get cute. I don't know why he would.
We've
Professor can have
seen Joseph
all hands
take
here.
weird lines before.
It's true, but Professor can have top 2 and all sorts of things. Yeah, he shows the deuce.
He's like, yeah, I had the nuts.
I had it. For him, that's him showing I had it, though, right? Because
Right.
he never has
He usually
it,
has,
ever.
he usually has like 9-7 on a King 4-4 board.
They all fold anyway,
Yeah.
so he's like, look, see, I had a pair, so you could believe me next time.
Yeah, he
It's
jerks.
totally believing. You sons of bitches.
That's right.
That's a verbatim quote.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Digital Dan wearing that Slovenia shirt like he was born in it.
For the same price.
I don't understand.
Sure you do. Here's Dobie with the 7 deuce suited.
Hey, this is the first action we've seen of Dobie. That's how you final table a World Series event.
Snuggy's going to have him in a whole lot of trouble here
They're obviously collector
and
cards,
puts in
they're going up
what's
and
clearly going to be a 3-bet.
I wonder if the being on camera makes Dobie want to open the 7 deuce thing.
I think it's
the guy who
possible.
makes a World Series final table usually is not going to open 7 deuce.
It's hard to argue your point. Dobie just throws it away. Yep, Snuggy sizes it up quite
Perhaps he learned
significantly.
his lesson.
We're going to find out. I don't know. I think most people who decide to raise 7 deuce don't learn their lesson after they've been re-raised once.
Well, it's his
mostly.
first time in the game. Maybe he's thinking like, maybe I can run these guys over. Let's
Yeah.
find out.
You could just watch the many episodes we have of Poker Time and learn that it's hard to run these guys over.
That is accurate.
This guy's not so good at the running over. Being run over.
Snuggy on your left is not the best spot to try to run over the table.
Right.
in the poker family.
Unless you're Digital Dan.
Poker family.
Right. Then you can have 4 deuce and Snuggy will fold.
Get right through. Snuggy makes some surprising folds at times, for sure.
Terminator limping the ace-7 off under the gun. The bad medium aces are getting limped under the gun now.
Yeah,
That's the new trend.
apparently.
It's trending in 2018.
Joseph, is he reaching deep? Nope.
The Professor will win this hand. Nope. Somehow not.
By folding, he wins.
Yeah. Hearts and minds, Jonathan.
All right, whole lot of crap out there.
Yeah. Usually
And
you won't see this many
only-
players to the flop.
Only
with,
one suited hand, even.
We got an ace on the flop for Terminator. That's
Digital Dan has a pair.
pretty fun.
That is it. Turner's going to bet. I would guess the hand is over. It is. Digital Dan folds second pair like he's eating a ham sandwich.
I need you to explain that reference.
It's not a reference. It's just a metaphor.
For
It's actually a simile. 4. It's eating a ham sandwich. I said he folded like he's eating a ham sandwich. What do you mean? It's a simile for
I need
that.
you to explain what that means, Jonathan.
It's easy to.
I won't
is
be
it-
able to sleep tonight.
Is it hard to eat a ham sandwich?
No.
Is it hard to fold 9-3 off? There you go. That's it. Explained. See?
I thought you meant like he was on his food range. You know, like when people are at the table.
Whoa.
You know about the food range?
No, I don't know about the food range.
Unless it's like a very high level tournament or very
oh,
deep stacked,
I see what you mean.
high buy-in cash game.
I now understand.
If somebody has ordered a meal and is in the process of eating the meal, that is going to be their tightest range.
Yes.
Them opening under the gun means you should fold queens, like most of the time.
Well, not necessarily fold them, but yeah, you may be behind.
We got some nice looking hands here with the king queen of spades, the 7-6 of diamonds, and the 2 10s, which are 3-betting here.
Nice, sizable 3-bet.
I don't-
Snuggie originally raised it up to 55.
And Snuggie's going to call with the king queen suited. That's reasonable for sure. And Joseph is kind of supposed to call now.
So wait, so Snuggie 5.5 exit?
Yeah.
To start with. Okay, I'm just.
I mean, you
Making sure I follow
If you
what's
watch
going on.
Poker Time, the sizing's all over the map.
Yeah, I guess it is. Joseph.
He's
see
gotta
how
call
deep we
here.
are. Yeah, we're deep enough to call. He's also in position. No, he's not.
It's a
He's
pretty
not in
good
position.
hand against these 2 hands, mostly because neither of them contains a diamond.
We have some stack to pot issues right away with
Well,
this
this is
hand,
a
but
flop.
yes.
This is Snuggie might lose the stack here.
There's nothing he can do about losing the stack here. This is just what's going to happen. Austin, I got to think it's going to bet because it's a good bet. It's a good flop to bet when it's this wet and you don't block a queen, which if someone has a queen like Snuggie does, you're just going to win so much money. In fact, the 3-bet also sets this up to be a pretty easy all-in spot for Austin by the river.
Yeah, not that you would ever fold, but it's always a little scary to flop bottom full house on a paired board. You're like, there's so many cards I don't know where I'm
Yeah.
when I get beat.
Well, the thing is, you just decide you're going with it,
Of
basically,
course,
and don't
of
worry about
course.
it. So Snuggie, is he going to raise right now, or is he just going to call? That's the question. Looks like he's going to put in the raise right away.
It's reasonable on a wet board, although he's gonna fold out like 2 black aces a lot of the time.
Depends on how well they know Snuggie
Yeah.
and what they think about him and all that. Austin, of course, probably just going to ship it right away, I would think, once he gets raised.
With the stack to pot ratio here, it would be reasonable just to put the rest of the chips in.
You figure you're getting called by the nut flush draw anyway. You're getting called by all queens at this point. Might as well just go.
You could put in a small raise, but
No.
it does effectively the same thing.
I think it's either you flat to get it in on the turn or you just go with it right now. Both are fine. The reason to get it in now is so that way a scary card doesn't come on the turn, right?
Conversely, though, if you get it in now against a heart draw, they might not get it in against you on
Yeah.
the turn if a heart doesn't come.
Correct. By the way, Austin does move in. I got to assume Snuggie.
Oh, it looks like a small raise, actually.
No, I think he said all in.
No. I don't think he did.
Well, we'll find out in a moment. Snuggie not loving this spot as much.
When you get 3-bet with the king queen on this flop, it is not an ideal spot. You're just hoping he has the jack 9 of hearts or something like that.
Which he can have. He can have ace king of hearts. You're right. He did not go all in. He didn't click it back, but came close. Snuggie does move in it, which is totally reasonable.
And we're definitely going to... I mean, Snuggie's got reasonable equity, but it's kind of like an underpair against an overpair.
yeah, pre-flop it is.
He's not
pretty
super
close.
dead, but he's close to
He
it.
could use... that card helps him a little bit, but that does not. An ace was a good card. A jack would have been a good card.
An ace
an
was
would have been a
not
good card.
really a good card. How is an ace a good card?
Another ace comes. He's got
That's-
queens full of aces.
That's true of any card.
That's a great point.
So, good point.
Excellent point. You're right.
Well, that's looks like that might be the end of Snuggie. And
Yeah.
Batiste, who just gave his seat up to Dobie, is first on the alternate list, I believe. So that might be strange. Batiste gives his seat up and then goes and sits on the guy's left.
With like 10 minutes later.
Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Look at this.
That's a large pot.
This pot happened very quickly, but when you get a flop like that, that's what's going to happen.
It sucks to be Snuggie in that spot.
I mean, what are you going to do? You're just, I mean, however he plays it, he's getting it all in, especially when the board. Oh, actually, the ace of hearts on the turn. Maybe Snuggie can
Yeah.
find a way not to go broke, but he's probably going to go broke anyway.
Oh, Snuggie is back.
Oh, okay.
So Batiste is not
Yeah.
coming back.
I got to think Snuggie is probably going broke anyway because stack to pot is just so absurd at that point. Even if he just calls the flop, it's probably going to end up going
Yeah.
broke. There's only like $1,000 back. There's way more than that in the pot. They have 2 streets to get it in. And Austin's not going to be afraid of anything. I don't think Snuggie's folding the turn.
I don't know if Snuggie's actually back. I think he's just nursing the small stack that he had remaining.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a little bit
55.
left.
Yeah,
This
he's
is gonna
definitely
be a
putting
put it in
with
spot
the king
then.
jack here then. Oh, he's limping.
No! Snuggie!
I kind of like it. Just get like as much money in the pot as possible. Try to spin it up.
I mean, someone's probably going to raise. Look at Mitzif.
Well, Mitzif and Snuggie.
What a spot for Snuggie now. He can re-raise all in and get called by it,
Yeah.
and he's got dominated.
Mitzif and Snuggie have a bit of a vendetta against each other. I don't think Mitzif would have made this play against anybody else.
Digital Dan calls. This is going to work out reasonably for Snuggie. Now Terminator calls. Dobie calls. Snuggie shoves.
These
I
guys-
assume everyone's going to call.
These guys must all have known they have to call 55, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I would. I'm sure.
The concern I would have is that Mitzif was going to do just that. You see that? He just 3-bet.
Well, what a
Four
spot
bet,
for Snuggie.
excuse me.
What an amazing stop for Snuggie.
Yeah,
that this happened.
This is exactly what he
Like,
wanted.
This is perfect. He's going to get like a 6-way
Oh, Dobie's
a
going to call, though.
sextuple up or something. Although Dobie calling makes it a little bit tougher now. No,
But
Snuggie
if-
actually has to spike something.
And Mitzif shouldn't be betting unless he hits a king, really, in a dry side pot.
Shouldn't be, but who knows?
Yeah.
It's not dry. It's not dry.
Oh,
side
it's not dry. You're right. He can bet.
In fact, the side pot's significant enough. He
Yeah,
absolutely is
never
gonna
mind.
bet.
There is a significant
$300 side pot.
Yeah. Okay, Mitzif is going to definitely get Dobie off the hand now on the ace high board, I think.
Well, let's see if Mitzif decides to or not.
He's out flop.
Oh, but he's out flat Snuggie anyway, right? Oh, poor Snuggie. Snuggie does have jacks and queens here. Snuggie's
Yep.
not going to be happy when the cards get turned over. It was lining up so well for Snuggie to get the sextuple up.
What a spot for Mitzif now.
Yeah.
Somehow with this hand.
And the heart even gives less outs to Snuggie.
And-
Trips. Somehow Mitzif ends up with what would have been the best hand anyway.
Mitzif gets the last laugh on the Snugster on this
Wow.
one.
That's some bad run for Snuggie in the last two hands. That's tough.
Yep, that's a time for the sad car ride home type of situation, I think.
It's like the end of Chariots of Fire, or that second Prefontaine movie.
All I know about Chariots of Fire is the song.
You don't know anything else about it?
They run on the beach.
Yes, in slow motion.
Ba, 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 ba.
Careful. Royalties. Careful.
I'm allowed to do
Are
a
you?
cover.
I don't think you are on YouTube. Let's just
Let's
just not get in trouble
I
here.
am tone deaf enough that there is no way that's getting flagged.
They have algorithm, man.
I am tone deaf enough that there's no way that's getting flagged.
AI is getting smarter and smarter. Okay, they can understand the context of our conversation and then hear that you're close enough.
Well, what's the point of anything anyway? Then the robots are just going to kill us. Who cares?
Well, we have a little bit of time. There's
So you don't want to get flagged for copyright on YouTube during that time.
Professor. It's time for the professor to get back involved. He missed that last pot. Look at Mrs. face.
He feels a
So-
little bad, I think.
So happy. Yeah.
He feels a little bad, but mostly happy. We're going to find out what Professor... Oh, Professor has a legitimate hand. 2 8s. He did not fold.
No.
Said he folded.
There's definitely something wrong with this. It says Professor's +1. He's not. He's +2.
Yeah. It's because of the
Ah.
bust of Snuggie. And there's Batiste coming right back in on the left. It would be funny if Batiste just 3-bets the crap out of
Yeah.
Dobie now, having graciously given up the seat. And then he's like, oh, I'm back. I'm just going to make your life hell.
Yeah. Agreed. That would be amazing.
Yeah. I would like to see that. I wonder if Dobie, now that Snuggie's gone, is like, oh, I can open 7 deuce again.
That's right. I don't have to worry about getting 3-bet
Yeah.
by Snuggie. Only by everyone else.
Looks like
Joseph looks like a golf pro. A little bit right there.
well, the Adidas insignia really helps with that.
Yeah. The shirt in general.
Yeah.
Very golf pro shirt.
And the hat.
Yep. The hat, too, actually. You're right. He really does. He looks like, yeah, Augusta was a little tougher this year. I felt like the greens were waxed.
Waxed.
Yeah.
Is that a thing golfers say? I don't know anything about golf.
They do say that.
Full disclosure.
It's when the greens run too fast.
Do you know anything about golf?
I mean, I've read a book or two.
Why?
It was a pretty good book I read. I read A Good Walk Spoiled by John Feinstein.
I saw The Legend of Bagger Vance.
I also read The Majors by John Feinstein. You saw The Legend of Bagger. I saw Tin Cup. That movie was great.
I've heard that, but I've never seen it.
I mean, let's not go crazy. It was pretty good.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
I like Kevin Costner.
It's
All
also-
right, look at this flop for Mitzif. Really good, but he's not going to get any action.
I mean, Terminator's got a pair and back door and an over.
That is correct.
So Terminator's got some outs to this.
Oh, Digital Dan has his favorite hand. I didn't even notice that before.
Yeah. We've been too busy talking.
Hey, Digital Dan might take a shot at this if it checks again.
Nine of diamonds for the professor.
And he's going to take a shot.
Mitzif is paying attention to this. Now let's see just how strong Professor's rep is still. He's been betting constantly at everything. Everyone always folds. Mitzif
Cannot
not so
fold
quick
this
to
hand.
fold
Another
here.
diamond and Professor wins, though.
Yeah.
Oh, not that diamond.
Wow.
That's
Great
a
spot.
I mean,
Well, no,
he doesn't
no.
have the ace of diamonds.
Yeah.
It's just the 9 of diamonds.
Mitzif is praying Professor has the nut flush here, but
Now, this seems like a pretty easy fold.
I agree.
Counting the diamonds there's 4 of them out there. That's correct. I think that
Mitzvah
Mitzvah
sometimes will do weird river bets.
yeah, but that call's a little loose.
sometimes Mitzvah is the kind of guy who might have tripped kings here once in a while in this spot.
He might have Jack 10, but
He can have some weird stuff.
I've
Seen him have Jack 10 here.
I don't think it's enough to make the call with a 9 of diamonds there, where Mitzvah easily has the ace of diamonds in his hand, like a lot of the time, or a better diamond, or a hand like he had.
You could also assume that Mitzvah is going to bet most of his better diamonds on the turn himself, so we can eliminate. Like he's almost never going to have the ace of diamonds.
I mean, you would
He'd
think he
check
would
the
bet
turn.
king queen at some point too. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, that's true. He was betting. I think he was going for the check raise on the flop, and then on the turn, it's like, oh, third diamond. Now I have to be careful.
It's just like, what does he have when he leads the river, though? It's just not a good
Jack
spot.
10. That's mostly it, right?
Professor bet into 5 players, and Mitzvah called.
Yeah, it's not great.
And Professor's going to earn it back with the 10-8, the limp of the 10-8 under the gun.
Austin.
He's got the Digital Dan Memorial hand. And
Digital-
so does Digital
well,
Dan.
Well, it's 4 deuce off, in fairness.
Dan folded the suited one.
Dobie's going to raise this one up, I got to believe.
3-bet at Batiste, whatever you have.
Batiste is at least thinking about it.
He does have a good 3-betting hand for the cut off the button, but decides against it. Maybe suited he would have 3-bet.
See if Joseph. Nope, Joseph can't call. Just the professor. Looks like the kind of guy who's going to fold to me with all the talking.
Nope.
He's the professor. He doesn't fold. They fold.
Oh, no,
he
he
folds.
folds.
Never mind. See, he just taught a lesson right there. That's a lesson by the professor.
Yeah, when you limp the 10-8 off under the gun and you get raised, and you fold.
I think the lesson is expect the unexpected when you're playing against a professor. Ooh, and then he goes like that.
See a ghost.
Yeah, it's sort of like Scooby-Doo. I would have gotten away with it and all that.
Yeah.
What, is that so crazy?
I don't know.
Austin, who has done well so far in this game for sure.
Yeah, well, that big pot against Snuggie recently was
That helps.
quite helpful.
He was doing well already, though, in fairness to him. Mitzvah with a very bad king on the button and apparently has no idea it's on him. Doing a whole lot of card shuffling, though.
He's talking about golf, maybe.
Oh, he already knew he was folding. He just didn't know it was on him.
This dynamic of Joseph and Mitzvah, it looks like Joseph is the golf pro and Mitzvah is the guy who happens to be seated next to the golf
Yes.
pro at the golf club, and he's like bothering him. He's like, give me some
Absolutely.
tips.
Absolutely.
Houston 1.
Gut shot for Joseph, and that is it. Hand over. Wrap it up. I'll take it.
Mitzvah looks like the type of guy who would bet like $200 a hole on golf.
I think Mitzvah is the type of guy who would bet $200 a hole on golf.
Probably be a lot of fun.
I mean, he's a very fun guy.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're looking for a guy to give you action on pretty much anything, he might just be your guy.
That's some advertising right there.
Yeah. He just might be your
Poker
guy.
Time, sponsored by Mitzvah.
Digital Dan. Gonna
He
limp
likes-
that 7-5.
He likes limping those type of hands.
Tournament
Terminator.
surely raised, right?
He did.
Good.
How I tilt. You'll never get me to tilt in this.
It's not college ball. It's frowned upon.
Mitzvah showing a little discipline there.
Because it's not Snuggie. If it was Snuggie, he would have made it 600.
So Houston 1. So it's
That's just going to call the ace-9 suited in the small blind. What do you think about that from the small blind when it's suited?
It's close. I think it's
Close.
fine.
It's fine. It's barely fine.
Because it's
probably.
suited. Unsuited would
Of course.
be a bad call. Austin's a bit loose there. I guess he knows there's going to be
He's
all
closing
4
the
ways.
action.
Yeah.
Well, he's effectively closing the action.
This is kind of a tough spot for the ace-9. This
Well,
is why you
apparently
don't
he's
like
going to bet it out and get no action. That's going to be the play,
Not a big fan of leading here.
No.
Kind of feels like a game theory disaster spot.
as we like to say.
Might get action from ace-8 or ace-7 some of the time, but the majority of the time we get action. It's either a hand that plans on bluffing us later or a hand that's better than us.
Agreed. Agreed. There's the call button for a reason.
Well, you mean check?
Well, also a call button. I didn't say what he should do. I said there's a call button for a reason.
Are you talking about
Do you think
poker?
there isn't a call button?
Are you
for
talking
a
about
reason?
poker or like airplane?
I'm not sure what I'm talking about.
That's clear.
I'm just, talking about buttons.
Is this-
Benjamin Button,
Yeah.
Buttons
Or-
the Clown. Buttons the Clown.
What happens to Benjamin Button when he finally reaches nascency?
He becomes a little baby.
And then he
Disappears.
blinks out of existence?
Yeah.
I never saw the movie.
Yeah, he absolutely becomes the great love of his life, Kate Blanchett, is like changing his diapers at the end. And he's like, wah, wah. It's a weird movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty weird.
It's really strange. But, they're like it starts off. This is weird, too. Guys, this is worth listening to. I know there's a poker game going on, but so early on in that movie, he's like, effectively 80, although he's really like 6, and she's 6, and they kind of fall in love, and they sort of like are into each other pretty much from the beginning.
I feel creeped out. Hey, let's pay attention to this.
Okay, we got a straight draw, we got the nut flush draw.
That's about it. But we was 7-8 for Joseph.
Actually, Dobie has more than the nut flush draw. He also has a pair in the nut flush
pair
draw.
and the nut flush draw.
Monster flop.
Yeah, he's very happy with this flop. Never folding.
You're next.
He's going to bet 130 into 200.
I can't imagine Austin folding yet.
There's no way Austin can fold.
Joseph could call too.
Yep, he could.
You could also fold though.
With all
There's-
these people behind you, I
yeah.
think you're supposed to
Oh,
fold.
Dan also has an 8. I didn't
Dan
notice.
has a better 8.
Yeah. Joseph has the backdoor straight draw with
I
his.
expect Joseph's going to find a fold here ultimately.
Yeah.
Because of all the people behind him, and he only has middle pair with no kicker. And the 2 hearts out there. There we go.
That's a good fold.
Yep, Austin has to call.
And then once Austin calls, I think Dan should fold probably.
Exactly. Dan was thinking, maybe I can call. Nope, can't call. Looks like Dan was going to fold no matter what.
Yeah, it does. All right,
did
there's
have Terminator behind him.
some interesting turn cards we could get here.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
There you
one
go.
of them. And Austin has the straight flush draw.
He does have the 1 out to the 9 of hearts.
But this is just brutal for Austin here. Of course he's worried about the flush. a little
Doesn't
bit.
matter.
He has the jack of hearts in his hand. It means it's impossible to fold.
It's impossible to fold anyway, I think.
I agree, but the jack of hearts just
Yeah, we
Puts-
block. We
adds
also have
some-
outs potentially if we're somehow behind. Like, we could be losing to a flush, hit a heart, any heart, and
Yeah.
take the lead. Let alone the 9 of hearts, which we know is good. We have to call as Austin.
I think the move for Dobie is to size it up on the river. Put a little extra cream cheese on that bagel.
Yeah, just in case. Also, Dobie being in position means he's gonna. Austin, I think, did the whole look at it, stare at it, as if maybe this is a tough decision. when
Pretty
it's
clean
not.
card. I don't know if Austin can find a fold.
I don't think I would not be able to find a fold here. I don't think.
I like shoving as Dobie.
Shoving's pretty good. 1,000 is pretty good. I think big, 80% of the pot type thing here. If the guy can't call, he can't call. But if he happens to have a flush, if he happens to have a big hand, if he decides to put you on a bluff, let's size it up.
Let's put some cream cheese on the bagel. Like I said,
Schmear it.
chive and onion.
Schmear that.
Maybe some locks if you recently had a good session.
So I think 800 is like the minimum bet we'd want to make here when we have a hand this strong. Well, he announces it's like
650?
6 something. Gets
Quick
called
call.
right away.
675. Yeah.
Well,
That's a rough one for Austin.
there's nothing Austin can do about that.
Well, we just saw Austin go from having just a wonderful session to not as good anymore.
Well, he lost well over $1,000.
Yeah,
in that.
and Dobie has an insane hourly rate at this point. He's
if he can just maintain that,
20 minutes in, he's up like 2K or something.
yeah, Bill Gates, if he can maintain that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Not
Bill
quite,
Gates,
no.
but Justin Bonomo? Nope, not Justin Bonomo. But there's people. There are people who he's doing better than if he can maintain this 2K
the
an hour
majority
rate.
of the world. The
Yeah.
vast
also,
majority.
Also, if he works every hour and never goes to sleep, that's 48K a day. That's pretty good.
That's a salary I'd like to earn, Jonathan.
Well, you wouldn't have the ability to earn it because almost no one does, Grant. Can anyone truly earn 48K a day?
That's an interesting
Yeah,
question.
philosophical, I know. Hey, Professor's got a hand in the cutoff. He opens the 2 5s.
You're asking if there's actually any work worth that much money,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh. Mind changing.
I'm not talking about willingness to pay. We're talking about value.
That's like Mind of Mencia stuff.
Nice job pulling that one out.
Yeah.
That's like
I never saw that
It's a
show.
good- no, who
And I
saw
think-
that
and
show?
I
No
think
one
I'm-
saw that
I think
show.
I'm better for having not seen it. That
That
guy just
was-
yells, right? That's his whole thing.
I honestly don't know.
Just kind of screams into a microphone.
I can't say. He had a show on Comedy Central for like a good 4 years.
Made
That's
some
all I
money.
know.
Might have made 48K a day.
I don't think he made 40.
Probably not that much.
Professor,
Hey, we said it at the same time.
gassing up the car. Here we go. 9-8.
Head into the bagel shop. You're gonna get some cream cheese for
We're
the
going to
bagel.
find out. We don't know yet. We're going to see the flop.
This is a relatively loose call from Austin. I wonder if he's
Yeah.
tilting.
He might be.
Dobie could very well 3-bet here.
He could, but it's totally reasonable to call and close the action.
I
here
kind
as
of
well.
like like less defining your hand by just calling here and protecting your calling range.
Also, Dobie doesn't know anything. Wow, big flop for the professor.
The professor has a big flop, and Austin also has an
Yes.
open ender.
This could happen again, by the way, to Austin. He could make a straight against
Yep.
a flush.
Very well could.
He can't fold right now. By the way, Dobie does have the ace of spades.
And
it's not
once
going to
there's
be
a bet
enough.
and a call, he's going to fold.
It's not going to be enough to call, but I like also Dobie just calling pre-flop because he doesn't know the professor's been in every hand and playing. Like he
Yeah.
just sat down for the last, half hour here or so. So Dobie just has to let it go, even with the ace of spades out of position.
Typically, though, I do like the idea of 3-betting the late position razor. And well, this is a kind of an action-killing card.
Well, professor's going to bet, and that's going to do it. I got to believe.
It's only 100 into
Well,
290.
actually, we are getting pretty close to the right odds here to call. Now I think we have to call when he bets this little. He's afraid of the king. Is Austin raising?
Yes.
Oh, he senses the weakness, but gets called instantly by the professor. And
Maybe if I think Professor's probably calling Queen 10 of diamonds anyway. All right, Austin, is he going to go for it? Does
Professor
he have,
called so fast. Austin's got it. With 9 high here, I think we probably have to go for
Let's
it.
find out if Austin went to the bagel store today.
Well, we're going to find out if the bagel has any onions for him because here we go.
I have a question.
He's got onions. It's 450. I don't think the professor's going to be able to call this one.
Not with the size of that bagel.
550, excuse me. Yeah, I think it's easy to put Austin on a set or king 10 here, and we'll probably just have to fold, right?
King 10 feels more likely than a set.
Yep. King 10 makes a lot of sense, though.
That's the majority of what he's repping, right?
Yep, it's really just king 10 suited. There's only 2 combos of it, but even so,
A Professor
Actually,
showing the 10.
there's only 1 combo of king 10 suited. We got the 10 of spades in our hand.
He's allowed to show the 10.
That's right. This is
He's not even looking at Austin, though. I don't know why he showed the 10. And
he
he's
just wants Austin to know that he has something, and Austin's like, "You're gonna fold then, right?"
Yeah.
Good. Nice hand by Austin.
Yeah.
Very nice. He's picked up on Professor's sizing and jumped on the weakness and won himself a pot.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was-
that he followed through on the river with 9 high.
that was well played. It was a bit of a loose pre-flop call, but then he played well post-flop.
Yep. If you're going to be able to, make some plays post-flop in position, you can get away with a few more loose pre-flop calls right there.
Yeah.
Game on.
I haven't played a pot since 7.
You know what they say about the city of Austin. It's
Lots of bagels there.
the city that never sleeps. And this guy also
A
never
bagel
sleeps.
on every corner.
Austin actually has insomnia. So just like the city, he never sleeps.
Do you think I've used the bagel reference too much yet?
I think you have. I'm basically just ignoring it at this point.
No, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I felt like maybe it was because you weren't hearing me.
No, it was loud and clear for sure. I gotta believe Terminator's not gonna fold.
How many
10-7
bagels do you think
diamonds.
9-7 suited is worth in this game?
Yeah, I think the audience probably feels similar to me, but I
All right.
can't know.
I can
can't
talk
know.
about scones instead.
Yeah,
A little bit sweeter.
good idea. But he's almost certainly just gonna call here. Back in the game, that flowing locks of hair, just
I'm trying to tempt
For
her
everyone
with
to
the
see.
locks.
nice.
And
And
that
here-
looks like a 3-bet.
Whoa, Professor! How do you know?
This guy is...
How does he know?
Bananas.
Austin's gonna have to throw away that ace 10 off. He thought he was making such a good play. So did I, Austin. I thought that was probably gonna work
Ace
out
10
well.
off. Who has ace 10 off?
No one has a 10 except Terminator. Ace 4 off. But he'd have to throw the ace 10 off also after this. So this is probably just going to get through it. I guess Joseph's
no.
going to call.
Looks like Batiste has
Oh.
picked up on the ways of the professor.
Joseph now forced to call.
Yes,
For sure.
he
Probably
is.
forced to call anyway. But
And the professor is a very sad man now. He did
Well,
not want to get called in 2 spots.
everyone always folds to him. Let's see if it continues. Well, he fought bet the top pair and the best hand. So
The one pair that is the top pair is the pair the professor has.
it's pretty good. It's going to continue. And I guess Joseph could call once if he really wanted to. But
It's 400 though.
also
It's-
out of his, this is an easy fold.
yeah.
This looks like aces. This is a pretty sweet play by Professor, and he shows both cards actually to Joseph, but he shows the 9 to everyone else, and everyone else has got to be doing a collective. What?
I think that was a short-sighted, bit of a myopic show
Yeah.
by Professor there. He was saying, I have top pair, but he didn't realize what that indicated about
Exactly.
his pre-flop play.
It's like now you have to have a top set really for that
Yeah.
to make any sense at all, and even then, it's questionable.
Yeah. So that might have let loose the professor's spell a little bit, and everybody now
Yeah.
knows the acts you have to perform to beat the spell. you know,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
saying for sure. No, that couldn't be clearer. That was extremely well put. Like you know,
well,
what?
let me talk about bagels. This is what happens.
They're gonna make a movie called The Grant Speech. It's like the King's Speech.
Yeah.
but it's about you.
It's got to be a lot better.
I mean, it probably will. That movie wasn't so good.
It's kind of boring.
Batiste with your favorite hand.
And he's going to 3-bet it
All
because
right.
he knows.
And look at this. Look at the hands that are out there. This is going to work just fine. It's going to just take this pot down. I got to believe.
It would be pretty
Terminator might call, actually.
be
Terminator
pretty
is
strong
in position.
for Professor to
Nope.
put in a 4-bet there. That would be pretty strong after showing the 9 on that board.
That would be pretty strong. Batiste with the easy win. Just picking up the free money. Nice job.
Look how happy he is. He's trying not to smile, but he couldn't help himself.
Someone finally 3-bet ace-9 off. You must be so. It's been something like, a year of people not doing that and you complaining. Someone finally did it. And look, it worked. Does it feel good? Does it warm your,
I'm
your
like
soul?
I'm like a dog chasing a mail truck. I finally caught it. I don't know what to do.
Nicely said. Do dogs chase mail trucks more than other cars, by the way?
I don't know.
I guess they chase mail men.
Isn't that like a line the Joker has in The Dark Knight or something? Maybe it's not mail truck, but like dog. I'm like a dog chasing a car, but then I catch it. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's just, I think, a phrase that's said
Oh.
in culture.
I think the Joker said it.
I mean, he may have. He probably stole it, though, from America.
From America. Is that in the Constitution or something? Austin's going to isolate the Professor here.
Can't believe the Professor's going to fold King 10 off. He is. Professor very oddly tight and oddly loose at different times.
Also, look at how he stacks his chips. That's
That's
infuriating.
going on over there?
It's horrific.
Oh, it's so weird.
Makes me want to just get in there and clean him up for him.
I know.
Like, let's just get some nice
They're in,
succinct
they're in stacks of 12, okay?
Either do
He's got a
stacks,
system
either
here.
do stacks of 20 or do like the big tall stacks that are each the same color.
Got a whole system. Look, those greens are different sizes.
I think there's a black on top of one of them. I'm upset about this.
Yeah.
This is an issue. This is my one issue that I vote on. The stacks.
Yeah, so if you're running for any kind of office,
Yeah.
make sure you bring this up. You got Grant's vote.
Yeah.
He's going to open the deuces.
See, Mitsev stacks are not in 20, but they're fine because they're just each the same color, and
And they're high. They're just
Yeah.
as high as they can go. That's fine.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
And look at Joseph. Joseph perfectly lined up.
Right.
That's fine,
The
too.
Professor stacks are causing me cognitive dissonance. I'm having a psychotic break over here.
Yes, you are. Joseph calls ace-3 off from the small blind, by the way. Professor flops trip kings.
He's going to profess his love
Look
for
how
this
small he
flop.
bet. Look how small he bet.
Batista's going to call the deuces.
Interesting. Will
Mitsev
Mitsev call
has
with
an
the 8?
Yeah, I think he probably
For
will.
35, he might just have to call.
I mean, Batista can have a lot of things.
Oh, wait, is Mitsev going to put in a Mitsev raise?
He did. He Mitzev'd.
loves Mitsev raising in these spots. It's the I never really have it Mitsev raise. Professor obviously never going to fold. I would guess he's just going to call.
Calling seems like the right play.
And now Mitsev knows he doesn't like his life anymore. He turns his middle pair into a bluff. Second pair into a bluff, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know if he
And-
did it on purpose or by accident. Once he gets called, he realizes he was bluffing.
Yeah, I don't think he was bluffing when he raised. I think he does it to find out where he is in these spots, so that way he doesn't have to lose a bigger pot.
A little bit of equity denial, perhaps. Oh,
He's-
Batista has nefarious thoughts. Look at him.
He's going to fold.
He knows it's a Mitsev phrase. He knows Professor is kind of a weird loosey-goosey player. He's like, I can rep a king here. He's thinking about it.
This would be something if he does it. Oh, he's going to just call.
Oh,
He
that's
is-
beautiful.
He's repping a big king. Now it's going to check through on the turn almost always.
That's a really cool way to rep a king. I don't think it's going to work because Professor actually has a king.
yeah. By the way, Batista's the one guy who can have 2 aces here.
Yeah. He can.
Professor's just going to donk it though. Very small.
Bets 100. If Batista makes a move here, it might.
I don't know if it's going to
It's
work.
probably not going to work against Professor, but it might work against some players. It's a cool idea.
The thing is, Batiste now knows, like, Professor usually has a king based on how he's played this hand, right? Like, he donked, he got raised, he called, and he just donked
Yeah, what
again
else?
when
What
the
else
ace
could he
comes.
have, really?
Seems hard for him to have an 8.
He could have like ace-8 and be playing really weird.
That's the only thing he can
Yeah.
have is ace-8. By the way, it's Professor. Maybe he's not going to fold anyway. Batiste, I like this fold.
Yeah, he gave up on the plan. He had a plan and he gave up.
Yeah. It's possible raise would have worked. I think Professor is betting here to protect. It's like a blocker bet.
Mitsev looks like he just doesn't believe him.
Well, Mitsev knows that now his kicker doesn't play, and so he's thinking, well, I'm getting 5-1. That's pretty good. Of course, we're also drawing dead as Mitsev.
There aren't
Not
any
as
draws. The Professor has no draws.
good. Professor has to have called the raise with just an 8, and then decided to bet into 2 players when Batiste also called the raise, which makes it questionable that he can ever have.
Now the
an
Professor
ace-0.
has a full house.
Professor's going to have to go for some value.
He's hoping Mitsev has king-queen now.
Let's see if he bets it. Let's see if he sizes it up now that he feels better about his hand. He doesn't. He keeps it small.
200?
Well,
200.
now Mitsev may feel like he has to call when it's this cheap again. Like
I don't know. We have a really bad hand.
We do, but that 9 doesn't matter. If we called the turn for 100,
I mean, we shouldn't have raised the flop, but we did. But that means an additional bet went in on the flop. That should reduce our calling range.
but the other side of it is Professor, by betting so small, just he may not be strong. Turns out he is, but he may not be strong here. And what if he just has an 8? It's the Professor. I don't know.
So calling for a chop, not always the best idea.
No, but at least it's 200 to win 400. And sometimes people call for a chop to win less than the amount they're putting in. But you make a fair point, calling for a chop. The Professor kind of has no bluffs here, which
Yeah.
is problematic for us. I think he's going to find I think Mitz will ultimately find a fold because of that. Yo,
He
there's
made
the
the call, and that's not going to look
It's
good.
like, oh, full house? Oh, yeah, full house. I'm actually pretty sure that Mitzif came up to me when we were in the World Series. We'd already filmed this and said, hey, I played a hand, and I really don't want you to make it like hand of the week or anything like that. I don't want you to make it like the feature hand. It could be this one. And I told him there were no promises, but he really asked multiple times.
So he's a bit embarrassed about that one.
This may be the one he's embarrassed about. I don't know. Maybe there'll be an even better one, but I had no memory of it, of course, because how do I remember anything? This is forever ago when this was shot.
Yeah, you're not the best at them remembering.
No. But I know that he didn't want... There's a hand he was embarrassed about. That could have been it. That would make a lot of sense. That was the one.
Dobby's got a nice hand here, making it 40. Oh,
Oh.
Mitzif has a bit of a nicer hand.
This is kind of great because it may look like he's on tilt.
It's great when you lose a big pot and then you pick up aces. I mean, losing the big pot part, not so great, but people assuming you are on tilt is good.
Yep. I like the sizing, 145 over the 40 when we're in position. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
Dobby just lets it go.
Wow. And look how deep they are.
It's a bit of a
Dobby
surprise.
Dobby really didn't have to let it go.
Yeah, you can call there, especially against Mitzif,
There's
who
gonna be
might
like-
be tilting.
It's going to be like 12 to 1 stack to pot. Like, I guess it's going to be less than that, actually. It's going to be like 9 to 1 stack to pot.
Well, if there was any genuine tilt, that'll only add to the tilt now.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. Also, if there's any genuine tilt, we should be more apt to call there. Although he's going to be out of position with 9-8 suited. It's probably a good fold by Dobby. But I'm surprised. I feel like everyone always calls in these spots on this show. No one ever folds to 3-bets, right?
Yeah. Well,
Dobby folds.
he folds 7 deuce and 8-9.
If it's suited, he folds it. If it's offsuit, he's got to play.
That's, yeah.
You'll all see.
Speaking of suited, Terminator is raising the jack 6 suited under the gun.
I predict Terminator will just... Wait, is this just a call? Oh, Batiste mixing it up.
I think he was thinking maybe Mitzif is in 3-bet everything mode and was hoping to get a back raise in there.
Well, as long as Digital Dan doesn't flop a deuce, it's probably not going to change anything.
I mean, if Terminator flops a jack
Yeah.
or a 6 and Batiste doesn't flop anything, that changes things.
Yeah, that's true. But I think Batiste is perfectly happy to play heads up against Terminator.
I think the most likely player to win this hand is Terminator.
Of
right
course. He's going to bet, and everyone's going to fold. Look how much Terminator's moving stuff around. Batiste's not going to fold. Now I
Dan-
like Batiste to win, unless Terminator's going to need to spike something now.
now. Well, Terminator sometimes just keeps barreling.
Digital Dan was thinking for a second. He could rep a 5 really easily there.
He has the most 5s.
Yeah, but chooses not to, and here we go.
Not gonna
Nothing for
change
anybody.
much.
Let's see if Terminator gives up or continues. I mean, it looks like Batiste has at least a 10, right?
It does, but Terminator has all the overpairs ostensibly in his range,
Yeah.
whereas Batiste doesn't really, even though we know he can.
Turns out
'cause
he
has
can, yeah.
Ace King of Diamonds, but that's not how you would be thinking if you were Terminator.
Batiste really has to bet this, I think. Oh, but he checks. I'm surprised.
Does the one finger check? Oh, there he goes.
Well, bet would have won the pot. The check is going to lose the pot. He's going to be very unhappy. Wait for the face. Not too much of a face that time. Oh,
I was just trying to buy the pot.
we didn't really see a face there. He knows he did it to himself that time. A little bit of a face. At
A
the
little
end.
bit of a face. I mean, Terminator did open Jack 6 under the gun, but that's what
Batiste could have 3-bet it in one. He could have bet
Yeah.
the turn in one. I think when you call that flop and Terminator checks the turn, I think you really have to bet because Terminator could have a hand like 2 7s and just have to fold it. Like, he can't really beat anything in Batiste's seeming calling range there, right? On a 10-5-5 board. Like, and you'd also build a pot if you happen to hit an ace or a 10 or an ace or a king on the river.
the new assistant Esmeralda
Yes.
is now telling me that this is the last hand of this episode.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of hers so far.
She's new. Give her a
The
shot.
coffee, kind of bad.
The professor's going to open the 8-4 off,
As he should. He's got a lesson to impart to all the youngins out there.
and it looks like we're just going to get a raise and
Oh.
take it for the last hand of this episode.
Okay.
But don't worry, there'll be plenty of action next week on the next Poker Time.